Live once again from beautiful sunny Los Angeles, California in the continental United States. You're listening to the Gus and Eddy podcast.
Hold on. Full
What's
stop.
that?
Did you forget the name of the show?
Of which show?
So I noticed, I said, do you want to start this one off? And you started it. And then it was like, it seemed pretty official. And there was a moment it seemed like you were stalling. And then you paused. And then it seemed like you remembered the Gus and Eddy podcast.
Yeah, I'll have 2 croissant.
So
Tell Josh to get the almond butter on the side this time. Okay,
so
thank you.
what is that bit at all? I don't understand what that is.
Sorry, I didn't hear what the fuck you were just saying. I was just ordering a croissant for my new intern.
Dude, can you imagine without explanation? We just got interns on the podcast and live. We're just one of us is in a conversation. Yeah, no, black coffee. Yeah, with the croissant. Okay. Yeah. No,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Hey. I know I said you could have the day off yesterday. I wanted to call you back in. I wanted a croissant. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to want to stick around. I can't get an intern. I'd be awful to him. I was just kidding.
Let's not be in person yet, but let's only get interns though. So we'll still do it remotely, but we'll each have 2 to 3 interns buzzing around here.
The biggest one I'd be scared of, if Tony ever got an intern, oh my God, the articles that would be written 3 years later. I'm just kidding. I was going to make it sound like Tony was just being awful to a worker, but then the articles made it sound like it was something even worse. And that's not what I'm saying about him at all. I just meant like he'd pour hot coffee on him or something as a bit. But he wouldn't even do that. I've dug myself into a hole, Gus. Throw me a rope. Rope.
Coming to you live from beautiful sunny.
Listen, I'm in a real. It's one of the earliest podcasts we've shot. It's 10:25 a.m. Very early in the morning.
It's the crack o' dawn over here in the G&E world.
Normally we record at 11. So, I'm just barely waking up, but for some reason, I'm in a real giggly, I'm in a real silly mood today. I'm ready to just fart around. That's all I'm saying.
I want to get down to some roughhousing to the point where it's just a little too rough and most of the other kids are having fun, but it's certainly on everyone's mind of like, that kid is roughhousing a little too rough.
Dude, that was always so awkward, especially, you know what? Every time a group of kids was playing on a trampoline, that would happen. Like, somebody would get too violent.
Some fucking dunk. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, one time, you know what it was usually? It was friends of mine who didn't have brothers and didn't understand what, like, roughhousing was, which I'll give them credit. Like, why would they know, if they weren't really, like, getting down in the mud? But I remember one time a friend came up, we were on a friend's trampoline, and we had, when you just put a hose on the trampoline, so you're jumping with water around everywhere.
Yeah.
And so we were like in bathing suits, just kind of jumping around, hot day, cooling off. And one of my friends just walked up to me and just 5-starred me right in the middle of the shoulder blades. And I turned and I punched him really hard in the shoulder. I was like, what the hell? And he was like, you're crazy, dude. It's like, that's not crazy. You 5-star someone, you're getting punched in the arm. That's children rule. That's in the children Bible, The
children Bible, yes.
The kids' Bible.
The beginner's Bible. I actually had a beginner's Bible when I was growing up.
The Kids Bop Bible. With all your favorite stories for kids.
Gen Exodus. I was trying to zoom her up every Bible name I couldn't.
And you said Gen Exodus, which is kids.
Exodus is not very.
No, but I mean Gen X, which would be, It
was gonna be like Genesis, Genexus. But then the second verse of the Bible is Exodus, though.
What would be the 10 commandments of the Kids Bop Bible? Not Kids Bop. I'm just saying that as a joke. It would be the Bible for kid life. Hanging out with other kids.
Okay. 10 commandments of Kids Bop.
Definitely, one of them is definitely you get 5-starred. You can punch someone in the arm. That's for sure.
That's fair. That's really fair. The second one is you must drink only Capri Sun roaring waters, and you can't use the straw. You have to bite through the hole and then tell all your friends, I never use a straw. I just suck it right out through the hole. It's just a waste.
One of them is you are not allowed during capture the flag to put the flag in a thorn bush. That was a very real dispute in my neighborhood.
Really? Is to put it in the thorn
Yeah,
bush?
it was one fucking kid. I'm not going to say his name, but he actually seems to be, when we were teenagers, he actually seemed to grow up to be a lovely guy. But as a kid, he was a fucking asshole. He was so confident in every like sport and everything that he would just like literally say he was the best at everything, which, you know,
cool.
One time,
gym class hero.
One time in 4th grade, we were having an argument, and I said, give me a fake name.
Randall?
Randall, you're not the best at everything. And he looked at me dead in the eye and he said, yes, I am. And I was like, holy fuck.
I wish I had an ounce of Randall's confidence.
I know, but he would put in capture the flag. He wanted to win so badly that he would like cut his own arm putting, we would use tennis balls for the flag, and he would cut his own arm putting it into a thorn bush. So if, like somebody was about to capture the flag, he could see because they were trying to carefully get their arm in without getting cut. That's against the rule. That's got to go in the Kids Bop Bible for sure.
Okay, no placement of the capture the flag in the bramble bushes or thorns. You also have to, every time the Disney Channel logo comes on where the kids paint it, you have to pantomime the little mouse ear painting thing while you point at the TV. You have to berate and badger your mom to the point of her considering leaving her career and moving to another state because you want some Todino's pizza rolls.
Dude, actually, can I say, I think part of the kids' commandments then, and now we're speaking as adults, I think any argument or behavior that happened between you and your siblings before you were like 10 or 11, we wiped the slate clean. Forgiveness for that. You were a kid, and one time, and he's still maybe a little salty about it. Maybe I should get forgiven for this. One time, me and Tony were like 4 or 5. We would every Friday, my dad would take us to Hollywood Video. We would get to as a family rent a movie, and then Tony and I would get to rent a game. It was a goddamn dream.
I love that.
But the biggest dispute in our household is okay, it's a great Friday, you're home with the game, but who the fuck gets to play the game first?
Dude, come on, man.
And that's a real battle every time. So usually my dad would flip a coin. And one time, let's say I bit Tony. Okay.
You bit Tony?
I was 4. I was 4 years old.
All right.
I did bite Tony though. It was we were having an argument and I bit him in the arm and then I got grounded. I believe for like a month with no video games, and then a month and a half went by and we were eating dinner, and to my dad I was like, "Hey, would it be okay if I, played a game tonight?" And my dad was like, "Why wouldn't it be okay if you played a game tonight?" And I was like, I've been grounded." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." He just totally forgot. He forgot. And I didn't play video games for like a month and a half. I deserved it though. But it was just like, I remember being like, oh my God, this has been, a constant shitty part of my life that I can't play games. And he's just like, he's an adult. Why would he give a shit? Why would he remember?
Oh yeah, that's yes, sir, you must. Granted, the power has been lifted. Get out there.
I actually, as a kid, even for the next couple of years, constantly was like, man, I can't believe I was so angry that I bit Tony. I still feel bad about it. I'm sorry, Tony. Tony, can you put up a yes that you forgive me on screen? Just a big yes. I forgive you, Eddie. I forgive you for everything. Thank you.
I just feel like he's not doing that right now.
Who knows? Do you know what Tony and I have been doing that's really fun?
What?
Well, Chrissy and I are playing through Red Dead because I wanted to see the story again, even though I have my issues with the game. Tony and I were doing Red Dead Online, which has a billion issues, but now you can like choose a path, and we both chose Bounty Hunter, and you can do bounty hunting missions together.
Oh, that's great.
And
I would love to do that.
They have legendary bounty missions that have like small cutscenes and are like bigger missions. I think there's maybe like 15 of them. And so like one of them was a family of 4, and Tony and I like split up across the desert area and had to like start picking them up and bringing them back and stuff. And we made our guys look like us.
Damn. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
it's been pretty fun. But yeah. So okay, we have. I'm guessing. I'm sure people listening have a count for how many commandments we have. Let's say we have 6. We need to
Okay,
fill
we
4
got 'em.
more.
Let's do it. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not
Thou shalt not tell.
tell. That's fair. That's really fair.
Thou shalt
honestly.
not tell on your sibling.
Sorry, it's been a while since I brushed up on religion. I'm sorry if I'm slow to come out with this stuff here. Okay.
Obviously, the neighbor's wife commandment should carry over.
Yeah. Yes.
we got to keep things clean. We got to make sure we cover all the bases.
Yep. Might as well get that one in there. Let's ditch murder though. Probably don't need that.
Yeah,
Get
no,
out of
murder
that
can
wheelhouse.
stay in the Kids Bop Bible. That one's fine.
That's fine. It is okay. Thou shalt not say you can do a kickflip in any fashion, because let's just face it, none of the kids that would read the Kids Bop Bibles can do a kickflip, and
That's
we should
true.
just accept that.
And if you say you can do a kickflip, you are required, no matter where you are, to do a kickflip within the next minute, or you are a liar.
Yeah, and you'll go to Kids Bop Hell. That's where they play only the un-Kids Bopified versions of the songs, and your head explodes because of the swearing you hear.
Do you remember, like, some of the craziest lies other kids told you when you were younger?
Oh, dude, yeah, it was about the dumbest shit.
Sometimes, not even lies about their own life, but sometimes, I think Tony and I separately both got baited by older kids where on the bus, where one kid was like, I think we had one kid to Tony where he was like, hey, say the word damn. And Tony said damn, and he raised his hand immediately to the bus driver and was like, Tony swore. And then
God.
one time, I didn't know what the middle finger was, and an older kid taught me to do it, and then I got told on for it, which is like, what the hell, man? What kind of sadistic bullshit is like just getting a random kid in trouble for no reason?
Oh, man, I don't know. It's that survivor mentality, baby.
Yep.
Crawling up the ranks there. Man, it would always be dumb shit. Like, really, that kind of fallacy holds up of like, oh, you know, my cousin said that he got this in this game, you know, like shit that never existed. And it was the stuff like, hey, you know, my cousin played the Fun Brain Turtle game, or like, you know, I'm in Age of Empires, actually, I unlocked a minigun. No, you didn't. Yeah, I did. I totally did. It's like cheat code. It's like, fucking lying to me.
I had a kid when it was way too old. We were sophomores in high school. And he said that he went fishing with his dad and he caught 200 fish. It was like,
come on,
dude,
man.
Like, what do you mean? Like, 200, and like, not to people listening, he wasn't saying he caught 200 fish in his lifetime. He was like, oh, we went out for a nice afternoon fishing. I almost said segment. What? Fishing trip, and he caught 200 fish, which means like, who has the time? You know.
So if you caught like reeling in, even assuming it was just little like panfish or whatever, like off the side of the boat, each fish, like from the time that you cast, you get the hook on, you reel it in, and you take it off, I would assume is like probably the quickest that you could do it is 2 minutes. Right? So 200 times. So 2 times 200 is 400. 400 divided by 60 is what? Well, you're already at 60, 120, 180, 240. I mean, I'm already at 4 hours.
I decided when
minutes.
You started, in my head, I went, I'm just not going to do the math. I was like, oh, I can maybe figure this out. And my brain went, nope, let's let Gus handle this one. I don't want to I don't even want to start bending my brain at all.
You can't stand the heat, stay out the boat. That's all I'm saying.
How were you at math?
Stay on the dock.
In school.
How was I at math? I'm really good. Like little dumb shit like that, like with the fish thing. Like I can do that stuff pretty well. Like but it is such a low ceiling though for my mathematical abilities. It was really weird for me because I was really fucking good at math. And then I went to 7th grade, and it was like the opposite. Like, imagine the
same thing happened. I was like, did you guys have the like multiplication exercises where they'd time you? Did you have that at all?
Oh yeah, where you just had the big grid of them, and you had to do as many as you can.
Yeah,
Fuck that
so
shit.
I was amazing at those, and I was like in elementary school, probably I would say never top of my class in math, but always like in the top 5, probably rank 5th usually. You know?
Yeah.
And then 7th grade hit, and I was like, ooh. Still doing all right, but not the best. And I'm just skating along.
the best.
And then 8th grade, I was like, I guess I'm bad at math. In just 2 years, I've flipped completely. Great at English, though. Great at English. Can't take that from me.
That's just the thing. I am also great at English. And it was like 7th grade came around, and it was like, truthfully, how disillusioning is it? Like, think about the skill that you're one of the best at. Like, one of your best skills. Now, imagine next year, some fucking adult comes around and plops a pack in front of you and said, hey, you're just not going to be good at that anymore. I'm sorry.
Hey,
like,
so we were talking upstairs, and we just decided to take this skill from you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you've been using it. You've been too wet and wild here with it. You got to rein it in. You can spell. That's it.
I think the best thing my biggest talent in school was writing essays for English, and I think that's kind of exactly what commentary videos are in a way, and so it kind of turned into my job pretty much all the time.
Translated pretty well. That's
making
good.
an argumentative essay. One thing I liked, I don't know if I told this on the podcast, it really warmed my heart. It was one of my favorite moments from high school, was I had this English teacher that I really, really liked a lot. And I asked him for a letter of recommendation. I ended up not needing it because I went to community college because I couldn't afford school. And I read it. And I remember being nervous when I was in his class because he was very good at English. And I was like, every time we're given, or not every time, but a lot of the time we're given two argumentative opinions,
Yeah.
I would kind of go down the middle and try and take both sides and write it like that. And I was like, I wonder if that's like a cop out and, I'm just not doing it right. And he thinks I'm like a shitty writer. And then I read the letter of rec, and not only was he saying a bunch of really nice personal things, but he mentioned that I looked at things in a different way and usually made a really good argument that wasn't the one given to me. And I was like, he noticed. I still think about that to this day. It was like something I was really insecure about. And then a teacher just swooped in and was like, no, that's one of your strengths. And I was like, holy shit. I love it.
God.
I actually had, after YouTube started working out, I had breakfast with him in my old class, and he still kept up watching my videos. Dude,
that is really cool.
Some teachers are so great. Some teachers are so gifted, man.
Dude, it's nuts. Yeah, they're a godsend because they're not always appreciated fully, too. Can you imagine being that goddamn good at your job and then people just bitch and moan at you?
Yeah, it sucks because I feel like
you.
most adults, their first thought when they think of a teacher is their most negative experiences, because everyone also has a negative experience with a teacher. And it sucks. I wish everyone had like a banger teacher in their life. I think a good deal of people do, but also some don't, and that sucks because you deserved it.
Exactly. You freaking deserve it. You treat yourself, you dang teacher. I had 2 points to the teacher talk. First of all, I remembered when I went to college. Speaking of reading and writing and shit, I had a professor that just about failed me at English, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And it was one of those things where my mom is an English teacher too. Not that I'm the kid freshman year that's roping in their mom to their college discussions. That was not the case, but she did fully agree with me on this, where it was just an older woman who had such antiquated rules that she was trying to shoehorn into teaching and stuff, where she was her little quirks and rules broke the fundamental laws of the language that we're trying to use. And it was infuriating to write essays because she just had a short list of words that you couldn't use, and every instance of them being used in there, she would penalize you. And one of those words was they, or any variant of it. They are there, as in THEY apostrophe RE. Because here's the thing that she would continuously say, and I would sit down with her and I would want to pull my motherfucking hair out, because here's an example of a sentence, I would say, when the birds fly in for the winter, they take up roost in the field. All right? And she would look at that, and she'd sit down with me and she'd circle it and penalize me, and I'd say, I'm sorry, what is wrong with that? She goes, right there. They. What is they referring to? It could be anything.
The birds! The birds!
Yeah, I know. It's I'm gonna fucking puke. I'm so mad right now. I was what the fuck are you talking about?
The birds!
And I would sit down and I'd be like, they are the birds in this situation. She goes, no, let's dissect it. You've said roost. Now, roost can be a verb. It can also be a noun. You've said field. Field is a noun. Are you referring to the roost? Are you referring to the field? You can't put these vague words
So
like
essentially,
they.
she was an English teacher that couldn't critically think about English sentences and was like, I'm so lost that you
And I
need to
just-
walk me through it.
And the insane thing is, like, she would be inconsistent with these rules, and whenever she was so harsh on students that I was probably doing myself no fucking favors, but I would absolutely, like, interject and raise my hand when and I would point out the inconsistencies, because listen, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I'm fucking fuck at English. I'm really good at that shit, okay? And she would point shit out on the board.
When
What?
you say that shit, are you referring to the teacher? Are you referring
or
to
a
you?
What?
You know, it was something. Wait, sorry. You had something else about interjecting. What would she say
Well,
then?
I mean, I would always do that shit where I was just like, I'm sorry, and I would try to do this thing and I wouldn't be the prick that was like being an asshole with how I said it, but I'd be like, I'm sorry, excuse me. The example that you're giving is inconsistent with what you just said was a rule. I said, this is the same thing. She'd go, no, it's different. Like, she would take that same test, and then there would be a different sentence that it was like, in the fall time, the turtles would come in and they would sleep in the pond. And she'd be like, oh, that's fine because you're establishing that the pond is where... And I'd be like, that's the same fucking equation. And this one where it was blowing my mind because it was the freshman year and I was fucking like failing English. And I was like, and it was all on these essays. And I was like, this stupid person is fucking me up here. And I would go to other English professors and shit. Like, you could go and like talk to other people in the department and stuff, or I brought some of my papers in front of my history professor who was just really super smart. And they would look at stuff and sometimes they'd be like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That looks fine to me. And I'd get like a fucking D on this shit.
Oh my
I just
God.
don't... And again, yeah, it's right after we said most teachers are fantastic, but there was just one woman that was just trying to fucking just destroy the English language as we know it, and it was losing my mind.
I don't know if I've
Anyway.
mentioned this on the podcast. I had a really weird, I think I've told you this. I had a really weird experience in my senior year English where I really lucked out my senior year because I knew I was going to community college. I've definitely told this before. I dropped math because I was like, wait, I actually don't need this math credit. Why would I be taking a math class? For real,
Yeah.
like, which actually my sister told me, and I never thought about, and because she was like, yeah, I didn't need it my senior year, so I dropped it. But when you're in high school, you're like, oh, I have math this year, of course. And it was like, wait, for real, why the fuck would I be in this? So I dropped it, and then I had to switch my English class. So my English class was doing the first semester almost entirely on Hamlet, and then I switched to a class that was going to do their second semester almost entirely on Hamlet. So
Sure.
I almost had a full year of Hamlet. And in
That's a
Hamlet,
lot.
here's the thing. I retained a lot of Hamlet. I don't remember scene for scene. But do you remember bits of Hamlet?
I mean, but we had to do the soliloquies and
I
shit
don't
from
remember
it.
most
Beyond
Shakespeare
that,
shit.
no.
Honestly, it's a shame. Actually, it's not a shame. It's great. I remember so much more SpongeBob in my brain than Shakespeare, and it's
Good.
it's living up better space than Shakespeare would be up here. It's having much more fun.
Good.
But there's a scene where Hamlet, I believe, is like pretending to be crazy to kind of throw everybody off, and he almost comes in like half naked, and it's very unsettling and weird, right? So, my teacher at the time, like, was a teacher that, I don't know, I wasn't huge on. She was also, Tony had her at one point, and she was like pretty mean. But she really liked me. And at one point, because we were reading them out with the class, and I was like a smaller part. And she goes, you know what? We're going to act out this scene. Eddie, why don't you come up and be Hamlet? And I'm like looking down at my desk, like tired that day. I'm just like, huh? What? Okay. And I get up.
Yeah.
And she gets me up in the front of the class. She's like, okay, so Hamlet walks in all crazy, and she starts like pulling my jean leg up and like trying to like pull my like hoodie down and like trying to almost like half undress me to be Hamlet. And I was making eye contact with everyone, and everyone in the class was like, the hell is she doing? And so I had to like act and be Hamlet. And I left that day, and we all walked out, and we were like, what the fuck was that? That was so weird.
Man,
And I don't know. It was just
like
very
that.
odd. It was very bizarre.
She
It wasn't like
wrongfully
humiliating or anything because all of the class was making eye contact with me like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It was just very, very bizarre. And
man.
there was one time though. Here's a life hack for post Zoom life for any high schoolers out there. I remember I was talking to my friend Danny, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I don't know about you guys. I get so nervous reading in public. I can talk in public, but if I have to read out loud, my brain starts breaking because I get so nervous that I'm gonna fuck it up and people are gonna think I'm bad at reading, and I'm good at reading. It's just some weird anxiety." And so I was talking to my friend Danny, and I was like, "You aren't reading in class, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just told the teacher that I get really, really anxious when I have to read in public, and I'd prefer not to." And I was like, "I get really anxious." He's like, "Just tell the teacher." And I did. And this is a different English teacher, and they respected the wishes, and I didn't have to read in public. Like, I didn't have to read to the class ever for the rest of the year. So if it's a big issue for you and you go back to high school, do that. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, might as well ask. Worst you hear is no. Honestly.
Unless, also, I guess it could maybe help you with reading skills. But sometimes, that doesn't help. Is just pushing somebody out into it and being like, you'll get used to it. And then they don't. But but also maybe it helps. So I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm a fucking YouTuber. Who knows?
See, yeah, so that's the worst part is I feel like stuff like that can elicit complete opposite ends of like the spectrum results wise. Like you either just like really, really fuck over a kid and kind of establish to like if you're heavy handed and you're like, come on, do it. Like when it's like public pressure, stuff like that. I feel like that either really reinforces the idea that it's like, oh, people will just goad them into doing shit, or it takes a quiet kid and actually gives them a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm on the other side of the coin with a lot of shit. Like, a lot of performing and, like, public speaking opportunities. And, like, I think of, like, the spelling bees that I did and playing live music and shit. And, like,
public
doing
speaking, when I wasn't reading anything, that has always helped me with my anxiety. I had a speech class in community college where for my final speech, I essentially I was starting to do the bad movie reviews. You and I knew each other at the time. And I essentially did one of my movie videos live, and it killed. And I was like, holy shit, I can do this live too. And it works. And that gave me so much confidence for my videos because I was like, well, I've done this to a crowd and it worked. So, fuck it.
Exactly, yeah. I think one of the early public speaking opportunities that I had pretty regularly was like at church on Sundays. This one member of the congregation would get up and read like, it was a passage from the Bible, and it always took place at the same time, like pre-sermon or whatever. And it would just, you get up and you read a page from the Bible. And I did
Kids Bop Bible or regular Bible?
I tried bringing a Kids Bop Bible, and they spanked my bare ass, and they said I'm going to go to hell. So I didn't read out of that for the next 6 years. We just used a King James Version Bible.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, I figured. It's just they called it heathenous. I didn't even know it was a word. But it was fine, and I would get up there, and it would really just be a matter of like, what, Mom, what is this before I go up? Canaan. Okay. But you'd get up there, and I mean, probably since I was 10, I'd get up there and I'd at least read something in front of a group of people,
Yeah.
But that helped, I suppose.
A weird question, because your town was so small.
Mm-hmm.
When you were doing these public speaking things, it was essentially like the same crowd your whole childhood, right?
Yeah, it was exactly.
Did that just give, I wonder if that had like ramped up your confidence because you're like, well, I performed in front of these people 4 times already. So, not that it's the exact same people every time, but you know what I mean? I wonder if that like helped public speaking stuff too, because it's not like randoms as well. And then it maybe helped you in front of random crowds after being able to build that confidence too. Or maybe I'm just theorizing and that didn't help at all.
I would always go up there. You make a good point. And to speak to that, Eddie, I go up there after the first time and I would sort of like swagger up. And just as Bill Maher waits for every single clap before he goes on to the next joke, I would just go ahead and just wait for the applause to die down before I said, I'm not saying a fucking word up here till you people are on your feet. I would do that.
Stop it. You gotta say that to a silent crowd in church. Oh, keep it down.
Keep it down. Lady took her tits out over there. Keep it down. All right. This ain't about me. It's about the big guy. Turn your chapter books to page. I don't know. Fucking pick one. I'll read it. I'm good at anything here. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the podcast. And thank you Scouts Honor for sponsoring today's podcast.
Listen, guys, as pet parents, working from home has given us, that's me and Sabrina, more time to spend with our four-legged family members. Now we're more aware of their daily needs, health issues, and their well-being. So, if you've noticed that your pet is itchy or smells less than pleasant, you have to check out Scout's Honor. Scout's Honor is a go-to pet brand for grooming products that will help itch relief, odor control, and overall healthier skin and coat. Alright, they got some fantastic products. They smell wonderful too. My favorite smell? A little bit of that lavender. Who doesn't like a little lavender, huh? Scout's Honor's probiotic grooming products are a scientifically proven natural solution for treating your pet's skin problems. When applied to the skin, probiotics support healthy bacteria and fight against bad bacteria that can cause irritation. With every purchase, Scout's Honor provides 1 day's worth of meals for a rescue animal in need. That sounds pretty cool, a little rescue animal, that ain't too bad. With Scout's Honor, your pet will never look, feel, or smell better. Check out all of Scout's Honor's award-winning products today. Available online or wherever pet supplies are sold. To receive 20% off your first order, go to scoutshonor.com/gusandeddy. Remember, that's Scouts with a K at scoutshonor.com/gusandeddy for 20% off your order. Scouts Honor, natural and preventative grooming solutions for pets.
Hey guys, the sponsor for today's podcast is Candid. Thank you, Candid, for sponsoring. Are you unhappy with your smile? You don't have to be, guy, you don't. Thousands of people have used Candid, the clear, comfortable, removable, and practically invisible aligners to help straighten their teeth, and now they love their smile. Candid is here to help straighten your teeth so you can fall in love with your smile too. Your treatment is prescribed and closely monitored remotely by a licensed orthodontist who's an expert in tooth movement. You'll have the same quality of care that you'd get from an in-office orthodontist from the comfort and convenience of your own home. And while other companies use general dentists, Candid only works with orthodontists. With Candid, the same orthodontist who created your plan is with you from start to finish, so you never have to wonder how you're doing. The average Candid treatment is just 6 months. You'll start seeing results way before then, and it costs thousands less than traditional braces. Become your best you. Start straightening your teeth today. Right now, you can save $75 on Candid's starter kit. Go to candidco.com/gusandeddy and use code gusandeddy. That's candidco.com/gusandeddy. Code gusandeddy. Take advantage of this limited time offer to save $75 on your starter kit. That's candidco.com/gusandeddy. Code gusandeddy. Thank you, Candid, for sponsoring. I'm kissing. Get out of here.
I actually couldn't tell you the last time I was inside of a church. I really don't know.
I think mine was probably, mine I guess was back in June, because our church is just dead empty. That was back when I was back home in Wisconsin, That's where I filmed the classroom discussion video where everyone's like, I agree with
you filmed
Josh.
that in a church?
I filmed that in the church. Those were in the Sunday school classrooms that have been dormant for 6 months. So I just went in there and took all the Jesus shit and moved it out and then kept all the learning
You can
shit.
just do that?
Well,
that's small town stuff, man. That's cool.
small town
cool
stuff like that. Yeah. Well, where it's just like, and especially it's small town stuff paired with like our role in some small town stuff where it's like all my family.
Your dad is God.
My dad is God. My mom is Athena.
Jesus.
not even like say I'm a Christian God and then like a Greek goddess. But like we've been involved in a lot of like sports stuff. So my parents are involved with the school, and then like we can go into the old church and stuff. And it's just like people will let you in if they know who you are. And a lot of the small town stuff, like I'm not going in and fucking stuff up. But really, with pretty much anything, when I go back home, it's like it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. You can kind of just go places, and if someone's like, "Get out of here," you go, "All right, yeah, I'll get out of here."
Can you imagine though if you're like, Sven, I got a video idea. We go in there and we trash the place. Yeah. We just fucking trash the place.
Let's stream it on D Live too. Yeah.
What happened to D Live? Is it still a thing?
I have no fucking idea exactly. What I was remembering before was when we were talking about math teacher shit. There's so many little things, and I hear it the most when Sven or Thor's on the podcast, and we just tell stories that seem so commonplace to us, and then there's somebody that didn't grow up where we grew up that just goes, "Hold on, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Yep.
But
it's
I
our
was
whole
like,
audience with you for the whole podcast.
It's our whole audience. What I remember my math teacher when math got tricky in 7th grade, I was gonna say, without even hesitation, I was gonna say, oh man, yeah, I started hating math when I got to 7th grade, but my 7th grade math teacher was all right. Every year during deer season, he would tell every kid in class to bring in a can of pop, and then whoever would go out and shoot the biggest buck during deer season would win all the cans of pop from everyone in the grade. So
we talking about buckshot deer can? Sorry, I just
Poppy buckshot. Yeah,
I was my brain just tried to combine those words, and it just it just put them in a fucking mixer and just flipped them all around.
That's like the version of the Childish Gambino, the Wu-Tang name generator thing.
There you go. Yeah.
Boom. Anyway, that was so Eddie. This next fall, if you want to do a little gambling, why don't you take a little soda can of Diet Coke and go leave it at the math teacher's door, and maybe you'll have a chance to win.
You know what I want to do?
Yeah.
And hear me out. This next hunting season, let's hope that everything's back to normal. I'm gonna bet on one of the Johnson brothers. I'm gonna bet.
All
I'm
right.
gonna start gambling with your guys' success.
Really? All right.
I'm gonna start with the podcast guys, or with the podcast audience. It's not gonna be real money, but we're gonna start gambling. And I got my money on you, dude.
All right, I like it.
And no hate to Sven. Is Thor hunting yet?
Thor is hunting. He's hunted for about 5 years.
Okay, I just didn't know. I have only heard your statistics, and they've been great.
Yes.
And so compared, but maybe this lights a fire. Maybe I put some money on Sven, and he's like, I don't want to disappoint,
You know what? I would for the meme encourage that if it weren't and Sven was gonna be so pissed if he heard this, but I am such a leagues better hunter than anybody. It's not even a fucking question. Sven is so mad regularly about it. There are 2 times where I have won the Big Buck Cup in our group where you gain the biggest buck. And they have been directly in deer stands that Sven was going to sit in, and then because he was either too tired or too cold or whatever the fuck, he was like, all right, I'm not going to sit in that stand. I'll give it up. And I went right in, and I got the big buck champ in that stand like an hour later.
Dude, that's the worst way to beat him possible. Oh, my God.
Honestly, dude, it's terrible. For because you start when you're 12 is when you can legally hunt. Rather, in a rule that I vehemently disagree with and that our group vehemently disagrees with, I don't know if it's probably not a federal law, but statewide, in Wisconsin now, I don't believe there is any minimum age for hunting.
Oh, so now you're going to have to deal with the baby hunters.
Those little baby boomers, that's the new definition of that.
They're so tiny, they can hide in places that the deer can't see. So
and then they infect them. They're like diseases. They don't even shoot them. Anyway, I've been hunting since I was 12, and I think I'm like, in terms of buck stuff, I'm nearly at 100% relative to years hunted, and Sven is maybe at 25%, if that. I mean, he would be so mad right now.
He'd come on and defend himself, man.
Dude,
He's gonna hear
Sven
this clip.
Here, should I give him a quick ring right now?
Yes.
Okay, I will see what he's up to. Oh, he's talking Valheim shit. All right, give him a call. He's gonna be pissed immediately. Is my guess.
I can't wait. I hope we have a bad track record for Sven answering the phone on the podcast.
He almost never picks up, dude. Tony's there ready to go all the time.
Tony's ready to pick up and hang up every time.
He's freaking slacking more than I know it's exactly what's going to happen. Sven won't pick up. Here, you guys listen to his voicemail, by the way.
Yeah, I forgot about Sven's voice.
It's still the one that he recorded when he was like 12 or 14.
Hey, this is Sven. Leave me a message and I'll try to call you back as soon as I can.
Oh, that's great. I know he's going to call me back in like 3 minutes. I'll just pick up.
Good. Okay, we'll hear it then. Until then, you want to hit some preguntas? You want to hear from the boys?
Let's hear from the boys!
Oh!
Right. Guys, follow us on twitter.com. Our usernames are Eddie Burback, not mine, and Gus Buckets, not Eddie's.
Also, real quick, if everything goes correctly, please don't let this age poorly. This is coming out, obviously on Monday. I should have a new video out. It's called something along the lines of like Twins Weird Me Out or something. You just got to watch and see.
Swipe up on the video to get that activation link right now, everybody.
Or just, go to the channel, but not
that.
now. Let the podcast end first and then go watch it.
Watch Eddie's video first, and then when you're so happy that you have this big, long, yummy mealtime video in your gut, go watch my Skyrim music video, please.
There you go.
Oh, Sven's calling me back.
Yes.
Hey, Sven, you're on speakerphone on the podcast. I just wanted to ask you something if you got a free minute.
Sure, what you got?
So we're just talking about hunting record stuff, and Eddie was curious about everything, and I made sure to fill him in on the fact that in pretty much every single way, I am not even a little bit better, but significantly better of a hunter than you are.
Okay, so the goal of this was to weigh in, call me, and have me confirm that you're a better hunter than I?
Yeah, that sounds about like the process I just went through.
So, what was the thinking on this? What do you? Yes, Gus, you are so much better than me. I'm bad. I'm terrible.
I mean, that was kind of how it kept reverberating around in my head of how it's gonna go. And
here it's happening in real life. This is what you wanted.
The results are a bit different than what I had hoped for and anticipated.
What are you qualifying as a better hunter?
What is your, relative to the years that you've hunted, what is your percentage?
You know what?
Wait a minute, wait, what?
Let's do percentage of deer that I've missed.
That is
Ooh.
Okay. Sven
versus
has.
you.
Wait, have you missed more than me?
Well, how many deer have you missed?
I've missed 3 tops.
Okay, I have missed 2.
Okay, so 2. So I've missed 3 tops, and I am
And you have 5 years of hunting on me.
And I have 5 years of hunting on you.
That's a good point. You didn't mention that, Gus. You didn't mention that point.
So, but that still is a way higher percentage of success. So
well,
if
actually,
I have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
can I
21,
really
20.
quick, Gus? Can I come in? Can Sven hear me at all? He can't,
I have
right?
not had the ability
Hold
to.
on. Sven, here, can you hear Eddie say speaking stuff
Sven,
again?
can you hear me right now?
Very quietly.
I think the more accurate thing, Gus, actually, now that Sven makes that point, is you have always been older than Sven, so to compare year to year is not correct. You need to start comparing when you guys were the same age, because it's all about experience and the amount of time and the age at the time. You need to stack your years
Also,
when
you
you
know
were
what?
Sven's
to
age.
factor in too, though, like I have had years where I haven't had the ability to even shoot at a deer.
Exactly.
Like,
So
at least 3 where I have not seen a deer that I could take like a safe shot at.
exactly. So if you would have put yourself in the position to have more opportunities and thus be a better hunter, you would have created those doors for yourself.
If I would have put
And
myself in a
that's
position
not
to be
how
the
hunting
luckiest
works.
spot in
First
the
of all,
forest.
okay, 2 things. First of all, kind of Eddie, it actually is, because I will go so fucking Rambo Dambo mode out there. People hate sitting in the hunting stand with me because I am such a fucking like noise Nazi, dude. I am like any little coat move, I'm like shut the fuck up, like don't move at all. I stay out later. I stay out till it's goddamn pitch black.
Oh, I do that too. Here's the only edge that Gus has on me, other than being a noise Nazi, which doesn't factor into
Yes,
hunting
it
at all
does.
if you're in a stand. The only edge Gus has on me is occasionally I will take off evening stand on Thanksgiving, and Gus will always go, "Hey Sven, which stand were you gonna go sit in if you were to go hunt?" And then I have told him at least twice now where I was going to sit, and then he'll shoot a buck.
Wait,
Because
Gus,
some
hold
curse,
on. Wait,
What?
can Sven hear me again?
He'll get a deer.
Hold on, Sven, can you hear Eddie right now?
So Sven, Gus
Yeah.
just told the story as in you abandoned the stand and he took it over. I didn't know Gus asked you directly which one you were at to try. Gus, are you trying to fucking make Sven feel bad with the deer you hunt?
So the first year, it was just that there was a hotter stand on the land, and it was Sven's turn to sit there, and then he decided to stay in for Thanksgiving. So then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna sit there then, because it was fully vacant. And then I got the big buck there that year. And then like the next year, or it might have been 2 years after, I was like joking.
Twice in a row.
It was
you asked
so
me where I would have sat.
It was twice in a row. So then the next year, as a joke, Sven already had a different evening stand planned, and I was just like, now where would you have sat? And then Sven changed, and I went and sat in that stand that he made the decision to not go sit in at all, and I shot the big buck there.
I would argue you're looking for trouble when you're doing that, Gus.
I'm looking for trouble. I'm in the fucking woods, and Sven's fist deep in a goddamn sweet potato pie inside. That's why I'm the better fighter. And
I
you know
would
what?
argue, Gus, I would argue that you're not just looking to hunt deer, but you're looking to flex on Sven when you're asking those things. That's
you
what
know
it
what?
sounds like.
You know what? I absolutely am. I am looking to flex on Sven. And you know what? Let's bring up your point, Eddie. Let's look at a more useful stat anyway. Let's go back to the same age that Sven was. Let's knock off those 5 years.
I don't feel good about this knowing the
Sounds
history.
fucking good. I'm pretty much 100% still. I've had 2 years that I've missed that I haven't got a buck, and 2 years that I've doubled up. So it's come back to an even 100.
Yeah, but I've had so many years where I just have not seen a buck to shoot at.
It's just because Sven's up in the stand and he's smoking cigars and farting and playing oldies rock up there.
I
and
have
shit.
one question for both of you.
Eddie's got a question. Yeah.
Have either of you hunted the most dangerous game, aka a human being?
Inadvertently, no.
So you're not good hunters. That's it. That's the most dangerous game.
There's this
That's
weird
fair.
building in New
That's
York
fair.
City, and it took me on a time machine, and I was on this weird little path. I remember, and then there was a big dino I shot off, but then as I shot, the gun kicked back, and I was like, whoa, 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 and I stepped off, and I stepped on a butterfly wing.
That didn't
But
happen.
that's probably the most dangerous game I've hunted.
I also read that short story in English, and that didn't happen.
And then I came back, and I couldn't read anymore. I smelled really bad all the time for some reason.
Eddie, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I don't feel good about this call at all. I want this discussion to end. I
feel very good. It's extremely validating.
Something feels wrong.
All right. Well, thank you, Sven, for confirming my elite hunter status. Much appreciated.
You suck eggs.
Okay, Sven. Oh, he hung up on me.
Damn. He said you
totally
suck
did.
eggs and hung up on you. That's a pretty good flex right there.
That's the real one too that we didn't even see coming.
All right, you want to get to some preguntas?
Yeah, you bet. I'm feeling pretty fucking good about myself. I'll look at a pregunta.
I went to shout and I didn't put both hands up, so it looked like I was telling a secret when I was screaming. And so that doesn't make any sense. You got to do both hands if you're shouting it out loud.
It's just a very loud secret where you're like, it is still on the DL, but there's a tighter circle that you can spread it out to. All right, folks, here's a question. At Keith McBeath, I like that one, said, does this Midwest deserve to be called the Midwest? I think it doesn't because it's not West anymore, but I want some more Midwesterners' opinions on it.
I agree. The Midwest is just the middle. It's not even the middle. It's kind of east, you know?
Yeah, the top mid. It doesn't make any fucking sense, especially like Minnesota, Wisconsin shit. That shit's at the top, baby. It's cream of the crop.
Yeah. Also, I would say there's a lot of times where people will use the phrase like Midwest, meaning rural Midwest.
Yeah.
So like it'll be like, oh, I'm from the Midwest. We're nice to each other. But it's actually like, but not cities with suburbs because that's just a city with suburb area. So the whole phrase Midwest is kind of fucked. It kind of just means like middle of the country, rural.
Yeah, it's a very nothing thing.
But also it's got such a good ring to it. I don't want to leave it. I like saying I'm from the
Midwest.
Midwest.
Midwesterners. I like that. It's very lengthy. It's fine.
You know what it is too? It's because I feel like if there wasn't the Midwest, like that clean of a name, we just wouldn't get a name. I feel like there would be East Coast, West Coast, and then just like your state, you know?
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, obviously there's the South, but like it's not really the North, you know? And the like there's the Union, and I guess was referred to as the North, but like you're never like, oh, what part of the country are you from? The North.
Yeah, you know.
Which is technically kind of where we're both from, you know?
Yeah,
we're on
okay,
the northern end.
So which of those like 30 fucking states could you please clarify a little bit more?
Yeah.
You know, the top part of the country is
you
where
know,
I reside.
if you look up,
you know,
you see Wisconsin. That was great growing up. Whenever I looked up in the sky, seeing Gus, seeing Gus looking down on me.
You just go, someday that guy, I'm gonna live with him.
Looks like there's a lot of cheese up in the clouds.
What's falling? All right. Anyway, fuck the Midwest. At Bucket of Sand asks, thoughts on that Nintendo Direct?
I mean, I don't want to do a whole gamer discussion. I just want to see Breath of the Wild 2. I didn't see Breath of the Wild 2, so whatever.
I know you were streaming it with some of the boys that day, though.
Yeah, me, Tony, and Drew were streaming, and Will joined us. Yeah.
How did you feel about how they revealed the Zelda stuff? It seemed a little lame to be like, I know you want to hear this. Anyway, here's this other thing, and we're charging $60 for it. Like,
yeah, I'm glad in a way for people that don't know. They were. It looked like they were going to announce Breath of the Wild, and then they didn't. I appreciate the like, hey, sorry, we're not announcing it, but in the way, like, don't even take a moment to pause. You need to immediately be like, the first thing I need to see is that it's not being there. You know?
Yeah.
Like, because if you give me even 3 seconds of a delay for hope, then then there's a whole problem.
But I'm gonna go wild. Yeah.
It's whatever. It's the Nintendo Directs are never like super crazy. I feel like there's one reveal and then 50 minutes of stuff I don't care about.
Do you think, and have you actually heard too, speaking of Breath of the Wild 2 stuff,
Uh-huh.
are the core gameplay mechanics of just kind of open world shit, like hitting down trees, starting fires, are those going to be the same?
But it's the same. It's the same game engine, and so yeah, they're not gonna stray away from the physics and everything. I'm sure that's gonna be in the game because cool. It's the same engine, so it's gonna be the same graphics. The game looks the same from the trailer we saw. I would be shocked if they fucked with the formula like that.
Sure. All right, I'm fucking excited for it.
Hold up really quick.
Yeah.
Jakey, you're on the podcast.
I got a little scratchy on the end there. Actually, what if you tell me I'm on the podcast and I immediately just went into fucking Harry Potter, Cedric Diggory's dad after he dies?
My boy!
My boy!
Take the port key.
I'm actually getting a call from Eric, so I'll let you get back.
Yeah, I'll call you later, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, see ya.
I waved.
Little guest appearance. You never know who's going to stop by the Gus Eddy podcast virtually. You never know.
You never know. Our interns usually screen those, but one got through the cracks. Josh, come on, guys. Sorry about that.
Josh will.
You guys haze him. Here's some whipped cream. Get in there.
Yeah, the new Gus Eddy podcast intern, Josh, that we keep in the hole I was talking about a couple episodes ago.
Get him out of the Josh hole. Bring him out. We need some coffee.
we renamed it the Josh hole for you, buddy. Close the lid.
Close the fucking lid. Anyway, what I was saying, dude, I am in love with a new game. I am fucking obsessed. Last night, sealed the deal late last night, dude. Fucking Valheim. You played that?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking to play more. Just for people that don't know, it's one of those like survival type, but it's a Viking one with like, it's really expansive and cool. I'm excited to play more, for real.
I'm just really surprised, like, in a lot of ways. Like, I'm kind of waiting for the catch of like, this is too good to be true, frankly, because it's like, the game is gorgeous. I'm shocked that it's only 200 megabytes. It's like 200 to 500. It's tiny. It's beautiful. And like I've probably already put close to 10 hours in the damn thing. Probably haven't even explored 3% of the world.
Yeah,
frankly.
No, same here. Yeah, I'm really excited to play more. It looks really fucking fun. Well, maybe we should stream sometime.
Sounds great. That's a game that's right up my fucking alley. It's like Skyrim, Minecraft, foresty shit. Let's do it up.
Hell yeah. You got another Pregunt?
I do have. I don't like the sound of that.
What, you don't like me taking the A out? Pregunt?
That's a real load-bearing A that you're removing here.
How about Pregunt?
Somehow that's worse. That sounds like a place in your uncle's gut that he had to get removed surgically and he'll talk about for the next 10 years. All right. At Kisabili says, my friend and I have been arguing about this for a year. Is it weird to sleep in jeans? I sleep in jeans when I'm camping. And so, do you already have an opinion on that?
I just like, fuck you for even asking me this. Like, not you. I'm saying for the person asking. Is it weird to sleep in jeans? Yeah. What the fuck?
Well, on a camping trip, they're like, I do it on a camping trip. Okay, wait,
is it just a camping? Let me hear the rest of it. Okay, sorry.
It says, I sleep in jeans when I'm camping and sometimes at sleepovers, and I find it completely normal, but my friend finds it absurd. Please share your guidance.
So have you heard of sweatpants or shorts?
Oh, man, I haven't.
There are pants that are much more comfortable. I think that's very weird to sleep in denim. Wouldn't that give you like a rash or something?
I'm trying to think, and I'm telling you honestly, in the last 2 weeks, I've probably slept in jeans 4 times.
What?
And it's not something that I wanted
What
to
do you mean? What do you mean? Wait, how did you go to bed with jeans?
So it was at the end of the night. I was just, I'm just Jay Chillenhall. I'm feeling broasty and toasty, and I'm watching a little Shark Tank on the sectional, and I fall asleep, and then you wake up at like 3 a.m. again, and you go, I'm awake, and I fell asleep on the couch. And if I got up right now, I probably could take off these jeans and put on some comfier things and, maybe like go into the other bed. But if I just close my eyes, I'll probably be asleep again in 45 minutes.
Well, you're a couch sleeper, so that's much different, I think, than getting into
casual.
bed in jeans. Because
you are
sleep
jeans on.
For people that don't know, Gus for I believe 3 years in college didn't get a bed and slept on a couch for 3 years.
Yes, a Craigslist
and so
couch.
that if you're sleeping on a couch, you fall asleep on a couch in jeans, I will forgive that. If you pull the covers off of your mattress and get in and tuck yourself in jeans, that is a whole different story. Because why wouldn't you put shorts or some joggers on or something?
You just had a big day, man. You just cruise right into the sheets and get to sleep. That's all you need.
But it's like, you know what? I'm going to leave that one. If camping is a different story. Camping, I feel like there's too many factors that are different. You got to protect your legs, But, yeah, I don't know. I've only slept in jeans a couple of times. It's when I've been like too exhausted and I like passed out.
Oh yeah, dude. I just my level of care has gone so far downhill that it's probably at an all-time low. I will just sleep in whatever, dude. I will just do whatever the fuck. When I got those meat pants from Arby's, probably wore those for 2 weeks straight. I'm gonna be real with you.
One time, I think I've told this on the podcast before, there was a really, really big storm in the summer when I was going into 8th grade, and my basement started flooding, and the whole family had to stay awake until like 4 a.m. It was the hardest labor I've ever done, where it was like maybe 6 hours of the sump pump had broke. For people that don't have basements or don't know what it is, the sump pump keeps your basement from flooding when there's a lot of rain. And the sump pump broke, and we wanted to keep the water from reaching the outlets to where it would like ruin all the electricity in the basement,
Yeah.
I think that was it. I don't know. I was a fucking kid. But for some reason we had to do it. And so it was just like 6 hours of filling a giant bucket up, carrying it up the stairs, throwing it out the front door, away from the basement area. And it was just like that hard labor forever. And when we finished it, I walked upstairs and I got in bed with jeans and with my gym shoes on and fell asleep immediately. Just knocked out.
That's a sleep right there.
Yeah, so I fell asleep with shoes on once in my life in the mattress, and that's the only time. I woke up and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Damn, dude.
I feel like I went to war.
Do you ever sleep with socks on? Are you one of those guys?
Nah, I gotta let my puppies breathe, my man.
Oh, man. I'm a sock sleeper pretty regularly. Too chilly.
I don't judge either way, though. Well, the thing is, my body, when I sleep, is an absolute furnace. I have to wear, I have to wear shorts, and I do no shirt. Because I for some reason, if I wear boxer briefs, I sweat. I feel like I sweat more if it's just the boxer briefs.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I don't know what
is
the
it
fuck
the
it
contact
is. Oh, wait,
the
boxer briefs?
No, so I'm saying I wear boxer briefs either way, but if I
Okay.
put shorts on, I seem to sweat less.
I agree with that, and I wonder if you just can't notice it as much.
That might be it, and it's less gross, because then I know there isn't sweat directly touching the mattress. There's a barrier in between.
I think so. Yeah, you just don't feel the sensations of it.
I think especially like our kind of body type as well. It was like, dude, I was sailing comfortable, and then I hit 17, and it's like, how would you like to be sweaty every moment for the rest of your life?
I just
What
don't get it.
happened?
I don't feel as though I earned this. I am not in great shape, but I feel as though I did so much work in my high school years that I should still have at least a couple years worth of good shape momentum for like sweat level tolerance stuff. I don't understand. I just am a fucking sweat machine. I just don't get it.
When I've been in the best shape of my life, I'm still sweating like a maniac. And I mean, we can cut this if you don't want me to mention it, but you also had the 2 years when we were like going, we're first moving out here, where your right armpit was sweating significantly more than the left. And
I don't know why.
honestly just very interesting more than anything. It was just very interesting.
Somebody armchair doctor diagnosed me in the comments, but what the fuck was happening? Like, I tried everything, and even during those times, I had periods where I'd fluctuate down to being, like, in pretty good shape again, you know?
Yeah.
And it would be, like, I'd try everything. I'd try trimming back my armpit hair and everything, and then, like, trying antiperspirant and shit, and it would always just be like, dog, I cannot fucking... It would be the thing where you would have time in the morning, and you weren't rushing out right away. It would be like, you know, Gus Eddy, Tony were staying at that Airbnb, you know? And it would be like, I would wake up, I'd get in the shower, and I'd have tons of time in the morning. We didn't rush off anywhere, and we'd just be relaxing at home for like an hour and a half. And I would put antiperspirant on well after the shower so that I didn't trap the heat in. And it'd be like, I'd take one step outside, even unrelated to the heat, and it would be like my armpit area is drenched, and it would only be on my right hand side, and I'd be like, I don't even understand what's going on. Like, this is disgusting. I would just be sitting, like, leaning forward, you know, on my phone or something, and I would feel like sweat dripping down my arm towards my elbow.
And then it just stopped, right?
It just fucking stopped as I got into being in worse shape. So what the fuck even happened with that shit? I don't get that.
I don't know, dude. Also, one pre-COVID memory that I don't want back, even though it's at a fun place. Right when we moved out here, it was probably mentioned on one of the first podcasts. We went to Universal, and it was like fucking 96, and the feels like was like 102 because of the sun.
Man.
And even though we were at a theme park, I was so miserable. It's like I was just so sweaty and awful. The biggest battle in my life is sweat. It's a constant problem for me. I hate it.
Is that the one where we were trying to do Gus and Eddy go to Hollywood or whatever?
It was just when we moved out there. We shot. By the way, I found our road trip footage. It's not a full video, and so it's not worth editing into something, but maybe, I don't know, sometimes we'll put a cut together. But I was, Chrissy needed an SD card for a video she's shooting, and I looked on one of them, and I was like, this is the road trip footage. I have it.
Oh, dude, that's so exciting. Man,
there's a couple of bits we shot at the motels that were pretty fun. Maybe I'll do like a small cut of like maybe a 5-minute episode or something.
That was fun, a little Gus and Eddy classic.
I was just about to say Gus and Eddy classics.
That'd be cool. I like that. Dude, nothing greater than finding some shit on an old SD card like that.
Yep. It's especially like that's more of a almost bit vlog one, so it's also a memory rather than just an old bit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, that's going to be fun to see. Dude, I still, to this day, I shot, like, the very last project and collaboration thing that I did pre-quarantine was I shot a sketch with this as, like, pretending to be the Scooby-Doo gang. And Mimi's in it.
Did you find that yet?
Never found it. Never fucking found it, dude.
Keep explaining. I'm sorry. I just want
to
know.
Well, there's 2 sketches on there. First of all, there is a sketch, because they were both supposed to be Comedy Central sketches. And Eddie and I shot a sketch, and I lost it. And I've since, for insurance, reshot it with Ian Kung during that quarantine thing.
Wait, which sketch?
It's just the one where it's like when you're watching a movie with a friend who's seen the movie before. You know?
Dude, we must have shot that like 2 years ago.
At least, dude. It wasn't even close to quarantine that we shot that one together, like the You and Me one.
I forgot about that video.
Completely
oh my god.
Completely gone. On that same SD card is like, it's the Scooby-Doo gang. And the thing is, too, there was, for like a week or two afterwards, I was seeing some memes and shit on the subreddit of like, why the fuck is Gus just dressed like Fred from Scooby-Doo today?
And I kept thinking like, they'll see.
That.
I was like, they'll see once he puts it up, and you never put it up. So they were like, does anyone think Gus's dress looks a lot like Fred? He was dressed as Fred.
I was dressed as Fred. So I was Fred, and Mimi was Velma. Mimi was Daphne. Sabrina was Velma, and Charlie Barons was Fred. And the last fucking thing I did is I went
Scooby, probably, right?
Charlie Barons was Fred. I didn't have.
Weren't you dressed as Fred?
Or fuck me, I got the names mixed around. Shaggy.
Shaggy is what I meant.
Yeah.
What am
my god, we're fucking up.
Oh my god. Why would I say Scooby? Apologies to Charlie Barons. I wasn't like, no, he should be the dog. Like, that's not. I meant to say Shaggy.
Man, that was just I remember that those in the afternoon, and we went and we shot that one, and there was no real talks of like having to do anything. We went and it was like really, really early pandemic shit before it was like even a problem and stuff. And then it was like I had some Thai food, and then the next day we were in quarantine. You know, like
Yeah,
it was that
and
fucking quick.
My stream room is what used to be your room, so and you cleared it out completely. Everything that was in here, you took.
Dude,
So where
yeah.
the fuck is the SD card?
I don't know where it could have been. Like at this point, it's got to be in something. I am a little. I had a jolt of a heart attack. I found an old box with a bunch of old SD cards in it, and I did find some cool shit. Nothing valuable. The only thing
Was it that box that right when you first left and you were looking for it, I put a box together of some of the like camera equipment
No.
and SD stuff, or
No,
it was
but
just an old box?
Because I remember you had like 2 of those boxes where they were like smaller Amazon cardboard boxes, and they were filled with like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and some pens and shit. And then like
Yeah.
the amount of times, Eddie, that I probably like pre-moving out of that even second apartment that I went back and I was like, it's got to be in like the cracks of one of these boxes. And they
Yeah.
weren't even big boxes. I probably looked in those fuckers 20 times. So who the fuck knows where that sketch is? Maybe it'll show up sometime. Who goddamn knows? But I did find one positive thing in the old SD card boxes. I found the final video. And it's on this SD card that I hold in front of you, folks. I found the final video that I shot back home with my family in June. And it's a sketch with me and Sven and my dad in it. And I'm really fucking excited to edit that
Oh
one.
shit! Oh, awesome!
It's called How They Wrote Songs in the 70s. So let's hope that'll be a fun one. But maybe you'll
Perfect.
see that soon. And then I'll have to field comments all week of like, wait, I thought that Gus didn't go home. And I was like, bro, it's summer in the video. That was last year. So
Yep,
I'll be rad.
that will be. And you know what I was thinking?
What?
I think I'm done talking to you today. I think I'm over it.
Can I say something or?
You can say one more thing.
Coming to you live from Sun.
No,
I
I'm
don't
over
want to
it.
talk. I don't want to say anything.